Good morning, Laker fans. What's going on? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Monday edition here of Lakers Talk Daily. Got Lakers Talk, by the way, coming up tonight from 7 to 8 o'clock. BT, Brad Turner from the LA Times, going to join me as well. And we'll talk a lot of Lakers. I'm sure all the shows will be hitting on Lakers all day today. Lakers, really disappointing weekend, to be honest with you. And I don't really pay too much attention to what they did to the Blazers. The fact that they lost to the Brooklyn Nets on Friday night, I think says it all. But I don't want to spend too much time just on the wins and the losses. There's a lot of storylines around the Lakers. We all know that. I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell. I want to talk about a report that came out this morning. I want to talk about the continued chatter and conversation around his play and whether he'll be a Laker and so forth and so forth. So let me first off, let me say this, because I think DLO deserves some compliments. In his last 5 games, since this guy was put back in the starting lineup, he's balling out. And I don't know if I could justify why now he's balling out. Maybe it's the fact that he's playing basically 35 minutes a game. Maybe it's the fact that D'Angelo Russell has been a part of trade rumors, it seems like his entire career around this time of the year. And maybe there's a little, well, screw it. If I'm going to go or I'm not, I'm just going to play loosely and be myself, and whatever happens, happens. But give D'Lo his credit. D'Angelo Russell, last 5 games. That game against the Utah Jazz in Utah, 39-8. Game against the OKC Thunder, where the Lakers won, 14-6. Game against the Dallas Mavericks, the Lakers won 29, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Game against Brooklyn, Lakers lost that game 20-7, and last night 34-8. So he's got a couple here. He's got a 39-8. He's got a 29-point game. He's got a 34-8. Some really a 20-7. Some really, really impressive stats from D'Angelo Russell. I'm gonna go back to this, and I think this is, I guess part of the foundation of my conversation today about D'Angelo Russell. Dude's a polarizing guy. I don't think anybody can make the argument. Laker fans have an opinion one way or the other on D'Angelo Russell. The way I kind of look at this entire roster, yes, D'Angelo Russell, there's always going to be hesitation on him, because if you're out there trying to make a long playoff run, we saw how he did last year in the playoffs. We saw that when the money was on the table, Darvin Ham couldn't lean on D'Angelo Russell. He wasn't doing enough defensively. He wasn't effective enough offensively. He wasn't a threat from the outside. So a lot of those minutes were going to Dennis Schroeder. That's always going to be there until he gets another playoff run. And in that next playoff run, he can obviously he could counter that, and then Laker fans can walk away with a different taste in their mouth. However, as polarizing as he is, I think here's the reality about D'Angelo Russell. When he signed his contract in the offseason, he was not given, part of the deal with him was he doesn't have a no-trade clause. So the 2-year deal that he signed, player option for next year, player option for next year. So he could decide on that contract for next year, about $18 million, something like that. But there was no trade clause in this contract, which I think naturally is just going to bring up the conversation whether they're going to trade him or not. We've already heard this year Zach LaVine rumors, DeJounte Murray rumors. Let me read the latest DeJounte Murray rumor. This came out, what was it? Maybe about a half hour ago or so, something like that. Atlanta wants to find a third team to take on D'Angelo Russell in order to complete a DeJounte Murray trade with the Lakers, per Shams Charania. I'm reading this from the NBA Central on their Twitter page. It's centered around D'Angelo Russell, a 2029 first-round draft pick, and a pick swap, I'm told. The holdup was that Atlanta wanted to find a third team for D'Angelo Russell. This was via @RunItBack FDTV Joe Schmidt 07. So I'm just reading here on NBA Central. The conversations are still going on about D'Angelo Russell. They're not going to stop going on about D'Angelo Russell until you get to February 8th. And if D'Lo can be a part of this Lakers team over, what do we got now, about 2.5 weeks left until the trade deadline, then the conversation is going to quiet down. Until then, it's going to be a part of the conversation. Now, I find it interesting that he is playing his best basketball, some of the best basketball he's played as a Laker he's doing it right now. And I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know if it's because he's got more minutes and he's back into the starting lineup. I don't know if it's because the trade deadline's coming and, screw it, I'm just going to play and try to ball out. Whatever happens, happens. I don't know. I just know that when D'Angelo Russell plays better basketball, the Lakers have a much better shot of winning games. Now, over this 5-game stretch, they are 3-2. That Brooklyn game obviously killed the Lakers. That one was a really, really frustrating loss that happened on Friday. But as far as where the Lakers are, they're 22-22. If your name's not LeBron James or Anthony Davis, you're probably going to be in trade rumors. And of course, nobody's untouchable other than LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And of course, in my eyes, that includes Austin Reeves. Now, they could prefer not to trade Austin Reeves. I get that. I understand it. They might prefer not to trade a certain player. But if you're not LeBron James or Anthony Davis, I don't know how, if there's a good deal out there that you think is going to help you short-term and long-term, that it's not part of the dialogue in the conversation. So, Laker fans, I'll throw this your guys' way. What do you make of D'Angelo's play here over this last week and a half or so? Are you on the camp of just keep D'Angelo Russell and let's ride this thing out? Or are you, or do you not have faith in what D'Lo can potentially do down the road? So feel free to put your comments. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Please subscribe to our channel here on ESPN LA, and I'll get back with you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Laker fans. Appreciate it.